Here comes the meat wagon. Woo, woo. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a few extra pennies. Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 271, and I'm your host, the Mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Before we get into the movie discussion tonight, let's go around and meet my fellow bro. It's the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, scientifically speaking, if I were to take some of my friends out to Chili's, like maybe 5 or 6 of us, and same thing happened to us as what happened to Odysseus and his men in the Odyssey, where the meal that we eat turns us into pigs, what would you prescribe as the remedy to fix this? Or should we just order some more Long Island iced tea since they're on special?
Yeah, I mean, they're on special. You're losing money if you don't get them. You know what I mean? As far as a remedy for us turning into pigs, we're pretty much already pigs as it is. So would we change that much?
It's great. It's a great point. Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Go to Chili's.
We'll see you at Chili's. 15 minutes?
I'm already there, actually. I meant to tell you. Started the show from Chile. They've actually asked me to stop several times.
Recording live from booth number 7.
At Chili's in Diana's section, who's pretty pissed because we've only ordered a water so far. And she's a 19-year-old just trying to pay her rent. All right, well, here on the Bro 4 Squad podcast, we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. And Brian, chest day today, going back to a good old-fashioned Bro 4 Squad competition. We haven't done one of these in a while. A movie month bro off. What is a movie month bro off? Brian, why don't you tell the people? I know you weren't expecting to do this, but go for it.
It's fine. It's fun. You got to be on your toes when you're a Bro Force Squad podcaster. So a movie month bro off. This is when we take a month of a year, and we take the top 3 movies of that month and put it up against another month. So it could be. I think we made the cutoff is it has to be 1990, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
So
before that, you know, we were technically alive, but like
not enough to count.
not enough to be dangerous.
So, for example, you could take December of 1992, the 3 best movies in that month, and put it up against the 3 best movies in, I don't know, let's say March of 2017.
There you go.
And we judge these. We don't actually do it. We let you guys do it. We take an average of the top grading websites of movies, and that's 1 point. Then we break it down as one of our Bro 4 Squad criterion, and me and Jeff will decide that one. And if it is a tie at the end of that, we will go to Rotten Tomatoes critics score because that's the one that counts the least.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the overall box office for each particular movie.
So basically, there's 3 points up for grabs because there's 3 movies matched up against 3 other movies, and whichever month wins 2 out of 3 matchups is the better movie month. I honestly, there's been maybe one of these that we actually had a theme to, but today I literally just texted Brian and said, "Give me 2 random months and years, and let's have them fight." And we ended up with February of 1996 and September of 2002. And Brian, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but you did actually have some logic to it where you said pick 2 down months in terms of like when a lot of blockbusters come out, even though they're at different parts in the year. And that'll make these 2 matchups a little bit more even, at least in terms of like the box office one.
Yeah, that, I mean, you're going to have those sweeps where you just have the Infinity Wars and the End Games that came out, Star Wars movies that are just going to inflate the box office like that. And that's just I don't know. It's a boring point to me unless they're equaled.
But remember, the box office is only one of the 3 points.
It's true. Only 33%.
So it could be like a Transformers movie, not to particularly shit on those, but it would be difficult for that to probably win the ratings one. And then depending on which of the Bro 4 Squad criteria might also be a bit of a battle there. All right, let's get it going.
Great point. Let's do it.
The first matchup between February of 1996 and September of 2002. This is, and we won't reveal the numbers just yet, but the highest grossing film lifetime that was released in each of these 2 months. So just to clarify one more time, these movies each came out in their respective months, but the box office we're judging is that film's total lifetime gross. So if it came out in like February 28th, obviously it was only out for one day in February, but because it was technically a February release, it gets the whole lifetime gross. So and
The
for
Lifetime
February,
Achievement Award.
correct. For February of 1996, it is the film Broken Arrow. And for September of 2002, it is Sweet Home Alabama. Brian, we said this briefly off pod. Very rarely does this happen, but I've never heard of the movie Broken Arrow. That's the only one I think we've ever done a movie month bro off in, especially because it's the highest grossing film from that month. And I'm not familiar with it, but reading about it, it sounds pretty fucking interesting, especially as a 90s thriller.
Yeah, I don't know how we haven't heard of this, but I'm in.
Christian Slater, John Travolta, mid 90s. Fuck me
I'm
up.
just looking at some of the like photos of the movie, and my God, this looks amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so Brian, why don't you read the ratings for Sweet Home Alabama and I will do Broken Arrow. So for the first
Okay.
point, it's going to be which of these two movies has the best ratings online from the three fan rating websites. So which movie wins two out of three of these will get the first point for its month. We start with IMDb, which is notoriously, I would say, tumultuous. Like people review bomb things. There's a lot of scores that are either really inflated or really deflated. Broken Arrow has a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which is pretty solid. What's Sweet Home Alabama looking at?
6.2. Got ourselves a match here, folks.
Damn. So it beats it by a tenth of a point. Okay. For the second point, we go to Letterboxd, which is out of 5, and I personally think is the harshest in terms of rating. People on here are a little bit more pretentious and tend to not like the popcorn fare as much. Broken Arrow has a 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. What does Sweet Home Alabama have?
Man, this is a game of tenths. 2.8.
Which is crazy that the first two ratings have each been within a tenth of a point there. All right, so it's going to come
And
down.
what I like about this too, sorry, not to toot our own horn by doing this exercise because it's fun, but these two movies are completely different. Not even in the same genre. I mean, they're just literally two random movies that happen to make the most money in the month that they came out
Yeah.
and have them going up against each other. This is maybe I'm nerding out a little bit, but this is fascinating.
So funny enough, since we're doing our top 100 list at the end of the show, my mom told me that her favorite movie of all time is Sweet Home Alabama.
Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was her number one. So we're looking at again like a romantic comedy and what's Broken Arrow classified as here? Uh, doesn't say at the top of IMDb, but definitely not a romantic comedy unless Christian Slater and John Travolta hook up in like a deleted scene. This is disaster one person army action. Didn't know that was a genre, but need more of
Yeah.
those. All right, Brian, we will close with the Rotten Tomatoes audience score or the popcorn meter, as they say. Broken Arrow, not liked at all by the people, a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. How is Sweet Home Alabama doing there?
I figured it would be higher than this, but it's sitting at a 78%. So it's going to take the point here.
Wow, that's a bloodbath.
Yeah. I
All right,
think
so
this is a product of when these came out. 96, the internet wasn't really a thing. It started becoming more of a thing as once Sweet Home Alabama hit the theaters.
yeah. All right, so Sweet Home Alabama is up 1-0 in its chance to win the first point for September of 2002. In order to do that, though, it will have to win the vote for the Bro4 Squad criteria point. And if it does not, we will go to the third category, which is the lifetime box office. All right, Brian, I'm going to draw either the cast of one of these movies, the story, or the impact of one of them, and you and I will debate and give a point to each of the films to see which is better. It will be The Impact. Wow. I'll let you go first. Broken
All right.
Arrow from 96, February 96, or Sweet Home Alabama from September of '02.
I mean, I think we led off with this.
Yep.
Broken Arrow, we run a movie podcast, not saying that we've seen every movie and we should have, but we've never heard of this. And then obviously Sweet Home Alabama on the other spectrum is beloved by people and is their favorite movie of all time.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
couldn't have been a worse matchup for Broken Arrow on this one.
No, I mean, um, the mid '90s was when I was really starting to get into movies, and I was a big Christian Slater guy. I loved him in Robin Hood. And yeah, I haven't even gone back and seen this. And again, maybe that's my own gap, but I think a lot of people out there would probably say Sweet Home Alabama is one that you've at least heard of or resonates with you more than Broken Arrow does. Now, Broken Arrow might be awesome, and I am going to go see it at some point, but the fact that it was completely off my radar until today, again, tells you all you need to know about Impact. All right, Sweet Home Alabama gets the first point for September of '02. However, because we have to cover the spread here, Brian, let's go over the total box
Vegas
office.
rules.
Yeah,
Vegas rules.
Vegas rules. Lifetime. This is lifetime worldwide gross. Broken Arrow, $150.2 million, which is pretty impressive for a February film in 1996, I have to say.
Yep.
What's Sweet Home Alabama looking at?
180.6, which is really good for a rom-com.
Absolutely. And this came out in a time where I bet a lot of that damage was done um, like word of mouth. Like
Had to have. Yeah.
good date movie.
Yeah. I
That
mean, this was still '02, so like social media wasn't a thing quite yet.
mm-mm.
Ha- hadn't caught on yet.
Yeah. Yeah, once word gets out, this is probably like a really good like second or third weekend that it's out. Crushing it
Oh, I bet this
because
killed on the third weekend.
yeah, it probably did. Okay. September of '02 is up 1-0. The second set of matchups, and this is a must-win for February of 1996. Here's what we're looking at. Muppet Treasure Island.
God, I
Going
love this movie.
same. We've done a movie commentary on it, so check that out. Going up against Jackie Chan and Jennifer Love Hewitt's The Tuxedo,
Jesus.
which I remember one of the goofiest trailers I've seen in a while. All right, Brian, we'll do this. I'll just represent February '96 and September of '02 to make it easier.
All right, I like that.
Let's start with IMDb. Muppet Treasure Island has a 6.9 out of 10,
Wow.
which is
Very
very good.
respectable.
Yeah. How's the Tuxedo looking?
Better than I thought. 5.4.
Okay. For a goofy movie like that, that's pretty decent. Now, Letterboxd, I worry about the Tuxedo here, that it could get absolutely crucified. Muppet Treasure Island has a really high score of 3.6 out of 5. Remember,
Wow.
Letterboxd is sort of the more stuffy and pretentious of the rating systems. What's the Tuxedo looking at?
2.5. Just not crucified, just not there.
No, that is higher than I thought it would be. All right, so Muppet Treasure Island wins the point already for February of '96, but just again to cover the spread, Rotten Tomatoes also loves Muppet Treasure Island. The audience gives it a 77% fresh score. What's the Tuxedo looking at?
See, this one makes sense. This is a 30%.
Hmm.
There are those sickos out there that love this movie, but for the general public, it's a big old wet fart.
Yeah, so unfortunately, clean sweep gives Muppet Treasure Island the first point. All right, we move on to the Broforce Squad criteria. Do you want me to eliminate impact since we just did it, or leave them
No,
all
I
in?
say we leave it in.
Okay. We are going with the story.
Ooh, okay.
Nice. Okay, I will look up the plot to Muppet Treasure Island according to IMDb, and I'll read it, and then if you want, you can do the Tuxedo, or I can do it, but we'll just give them both to people. Muppet Treasure Island. I mean, it's a classic tale just told with the Muppets. The Muppets set sail in search of treasure with Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver. So it's the classic,
Classic pirate tale.
yeah, classic pirate tale of Muppet Treasure Island. Do you want to do the Tuxedo, or if you don't have it handy, I can pull it up.
I got it. I got it.
All right.
The tuxedo. A hapless chauffeur must take a comatose secret agent's place using his special gadget-laden tuxedo.
Yeah, that's
That is so early 2000s, it's not even funny. Like to the
absolutely.
T. Hour 38 minutes, BT dubs.
I mean, I'm definitely not opposed to watching that. It sounds like a fun time, but we'll let you go first. Which do you think has the better story, Muppet Treasure Island or the Tuxedo?
I mean, you know me, I'm a sucker for a good pirate anything. So I got to go Muppet Treasure Island here. Just outside of my top 100.
Yeah, as much as I actually appreciate the goofiness and casting Jackie Chan in that role is very smart. Muppets acting out anything is right down my alley, and the classic tale of Treasure Island, and of course, uh, I mean, Long John Silver. God damn it, why can I? Tim Curry
Tim Curry.
played by the legendary Tim Curry, an iconic performance. So Muppet Treasure Island gets the point there, and it actually ties it up and sends us into a winner take all in the third matchup. But first, lifetime box office gross. Muppet Treasure Island. So I looked up when I was looking up the box office, Muppet Treasure Island was only released domestically.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if it was like a weird Disney thing at the time, but it had so its numbers, just keep in mind, it had no international screenings. It was not played anywhere but I believe just North America, so maybe the US and Canada. It
Wow.
grossed, sorry.
I was just that number's impressive then.
Yeah, it grossed $47.2 million in its lifetime box office. Pretty solid for a Muppet movie that didn't play anywhere except North America. What did
Yeah.
the Tuxedo rake in?
Uh Honestly, for a movie like this, a respectable 104.4 million.
It probably made its money back.
Yeah. I would be shocked if it didn't actually.
Yeah, if they didn't spend a shit ton on like advertising for no reason. And I don't know what Jennifer Love Hewitt was and Jackie Chan. They were probably pretty expensive in 2002, but I'm sure the budget wasn't inflated too much.
Yeah, couldn't have been that much. Simple story.
All right. Last matchup.
The
Winner takes all.
tiebreaker for all the marbles.
Between February 96 and September of '02. February of 1996, Brian, we have Happy Gilmore
Man,
going up against the original from September 2002, Barbershop, which at the time, the cast in that was pretty fucking impressive.
these might be the best two movies of the 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at this, February '96, what a weird like balance of films. I guess February, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, yeah, it's I mean, especially back then, those were the dog days, man.
Yeah. September '02, we kind of have a bit of a comedic theme going, although they're pretty different comedies.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with what the internet thinks about each of these three films. Happy Gilmore, I'm actually surprised this isn't a little bit higher, but it has a 7 even on IMDb. What is Barbershop looking at?
A respectable 6.4
Okay.
for a comedy.
It's always harder to, obviously, I think there's three barbershops, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's very unfair, but sequels tend to water down the score of the original. Like as the sequels get bad, people kind of like the shine sort of fades on the original one.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might have happened with Barbershop.
Surprised Happy Gilmore's only a 7.
Yeah, same here. Maybe it's just because the people we hang out with love that movie, but maybe it's not viewed as highly by the rest of the
Maybe.
world. All right,
Maybe.
Letterboxd, which as we said is pretty rough. Uh, Happy Gilmore has a 3.4 out of 5.
That's very high because I would have guessed a 3.2 for Barbershop would have taken that. That's just a tough matchup.
Yeah, Barbershop getting a 3.2 on Letterboxd and losing is a tough pill to swallow. So that will give the first point in this matchup to Happy Gilmore. But again, to cover the spread, audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Highest one we've had in this entire matchup between these 2 months so far. And I don't want to say I'm surprised, but this is incredibly high. An 85% popcorn meter score for Happy Gilmore, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that's great. Barbershop sitting at again a respectable 62. I think for kind of a niche comedy like it is,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
when your opponent puts together an 85%, you kind of just have to tip your cap and be like, yeah, that's not going to happen for us. All right, on to the Bro Force Squad criteria. You're going to go with the cast.
Woo!
All right. Let me pull up the cast of Barbershop just to make sure, because I'm pretty sure you and I know Happy Gilmore like the back of our hand.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is the original Barbershop. We're looking at Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer, Eve, Anthony Anderson, Keith David. Basically, if you were a black comedian in the early 2000s, you were in this movie.
pretty much. Which is just
Uh,
Murderer's Row of comedians right there.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Happy Gilmore, we have pretty much the entire Happy Madison crew. Sandler as Gilmore, Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin, which just like the role of his career, basically. And then I think the cameos very well done, whether it's like Bob Barker, any of the golfers, Kevin Nealon as
Don't
the
forget about Carl Weathers in this.
that's true. Carl Weathers is incredible in this.
Yeah.
Vern Lundquist as himself as the announcer. Kevin Nealon's getting the whole ball or you go to your home. Uh Brian, who gets your point for cast? Again, both comedies, although Barbershop is kind of an ensemble and Happy Gilmore is obviously Adam Sandler led in his prime.
Yeah, I mean you've got star power versus a well-rounded team, right? That's the combination here. I think I'm actually gonna go I think I'm gonna go Barbershop here.
I respect it.
I mean, it is you don't have that one star that's shining where like Adam Sandler. Um, you just have a great group of dudes, everybody knowing their role and doing exactly what they need to do to make a fantastic movie.
Also, I don't know if there's a name for these type of films, but like Valentine's Day is one of these, New Year's Eve, where even Love Actually, where it's like five different stories being told and the characters are like interweaving in each other's stories.
Yeah, it's
That's
like a
kind of
big
what
web.
right. That's sort of what Barbershop does, although with like a comedic angle to it. Um, man, I want to do what you're doing, but I'm gonna have to go with Happy Gilmore. I just the because part of the cast, as we always say, is the performances,
Yep,
and there's just some really, really awesome standout performances in Happy Gilmore that to me have stood the test of time. And
of course.
I mean, I just love Carl Weathers in a role like this where he's making fun of himself a little bit. And this was before Adam Sandler became sort of a mockery of himself. I mean, this is Prime
Himself.
Sandler.
Yeah.
All right, so it's tied up there, and we agreed the tiebreaker for Bros criteria would be the Rotten Tomatoes uh, critics score, which I believe is called the Tomato Meter.
On paper, I would not have guessed we would go into overtime here.
Yeah, so if you took the over, I mean, you get some extra chance at points here. All right, my computer is going very slow, but I have pulled up both of these films here. Um, the Tomato Meter, which again is the aggregation of only the critics' scores. So you have to be a certified critic on Rotten Tomatoes to do this. Uh, Brian, Happy Gilmore has a 66% from the critics
Wow.
with 62 reviews. So
Okay.
a
Only
near,
62 reviews too.
yeah, which
Interesting.
is a little weird. So a near 20% drop off from its popcorn meter. All right, and then with 123 reviews, so literally almost double,
Double.
Barbershop has an 82%.
Damn, get Happy Gilmore.
I am shocked by this. Not
Critics
so,
love this.
yeah, the Barbershop one seems high, and the Happy Gilmore one to me seems really low.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mainly because, like, if you're a critic, these are both kind of goofy comedies. Maybe Happy Gilmore a little bit more so, but they really love Barbershop over Happy Gilmore here. All right, Brian's going to come down to worldwide box office gross for the not only the point but the whole matchup.
Wow.
Yeah,
So much pressure on these third rated movies.
yeah, I'm nervous and I'm not even. It's like the when the bullpen decides a game, like both starters pitch great, but they come out early and it's like, oh man, this is not even really being decided by our ace.
Yeah.
All right, Happy Gilmore made in its lifetime $41.4 million at the box office. Seems a little low,
Does
but
seem low.
I'm assuming this doesn't count like DVD sales or maybe even VHS if that's what the thing
I was
was.
gonna say you have to remember. Oh, it was definitely. I had it on VHS before
Nice.
we had it on DVD. Yeah. Again, this is why box office is such a wild card because just look what a few years makes. I mean,
Makes a huge difference. All right, so 41.4 million. Can Barbershop beat that and win the matchup?
Barbershop got 77 million
Wow.
to steal the matchup. I would say because on paper, I'm looking at Happy Gilmore to come out with a win.
I would have lost money on this one. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to Barbershop, who wins it for September of 2002 by a score of 2-1, beating February of 1996. Brian, another great movie month bro off. What are your thoughts on this one? Two, like we said, months that we picked that we thought, I mean, these aren't summer months, so kind of a level playing field, and neither of them are like around the holidays when box office gets a little inflated. So I think we had two very solid competitors go at it here. Normally we get at least like one or two movies that are total stinkers, but I mean, I would watch all these movies. Tuxedo is
Yeah.
probably the biggest turd, but it doesn't even sound that awful.
No, I think it sounds like a go get like a six pack of Rolling Rock and a pepperoni pizza, and that's your Friday night right there.
Damn, that sounds incredible, actually. Wow. All right. Moving on to the second part of our show. Actually, before we do that, if there's any movie months in particular that you want us to see, or you want to see in this competition matched up against someone else, like an iconic movie month, or even two that you want to see go at it, just let us know. Either comment below or at Bro4Squad or Bro4Squad at gmail.com. All right, Brian, second part of our show, we go around and talk about what is in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. Before I let you go, I just want to plug two things that the Bro4Squad has content out for. First up, Ronnie Cycli and I did a a review on Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. So go check that out. It is a spoilers review, and we're big time Nolan heads. So we kind of gush over it. Although we do have a few criticisms, but that's up on our channel right now. And then, Brian, we did a movie commentary, you, myself, and Ronnie Cycli, on the horror movie that has swept the nation, Obsession, which is now on Peacock. And Cycling and I had seen it before in theaters, but this was a first time watch for you. So listeners on our channel can go watch the movie along with us on the commentary track. Brian, anything you want to tease about that?
So I went back and watched it with my wife after the fact as well. So I've actually watched it
Oh,
with
nice.
sound now. Even crazier with sound. Um, Fantastic acting in this. I don't want to give any spoilers away here, but if you haven't seen it and you like horror, you like kind of psychological warfare almost to an extent.
Yeah, it's not like
Uh,
jump scare horror, but it's like a little bit
no,
of body horror and more just like the concept kind of creeps you out.
yeah, definitely suggest it.
Brian, I will tease to our listeners. Brian has a theory or an interpretation of the film that I thought was very interesting. I'm assuming you told that to your wife when you watched it, or maybe after.
I told her after, yeah,
What were her thoughts on it? Did she kind of see it your way, or was she like,
yeah. She kind of it was. She was still real raw whenever I told it to her, so I think she's still kind of digesting it. But I think she kind of saw it in both ways, um, leaning towards my way slightly,
I
or my
told you I woke
thought.
up in the middle of the night thinking about what you had said, and I was like, damn it, now I can't sleep.
I apologize.
Don't. I loved it. All right, Brian, what's in your cup? What have you seen lately?
All right. So finally got around to watching Project Hail Mary. I liked it, really liked it. Can't quite say that I loved it. I don't know. I was waiting for something. I can't tell you what that something was, but I never got it. And maybe that's partly my fault because I really enjoyed the book, but the book's kind of that way too.
Yeah,
There's just it's missing that one little cherry on top that kind of gets me there. Um, but I like how they portrayed Rocky. I like Ryan Gosling didn't annoy me with his shtick that he kept doing with like his
I
goofy
know.
ass.
I will say though, I love Gosling, but I am close to getting like a little fed up with it because it's like the same thing every movie.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
want
get
him
it,
to
you're
actually
charming,
act. Yeah, I want
right?
him to act now. Um, but yeah, it was really good. It was a really good movie. That's just the best I can say.
Yeah, I've talked about it like a couple times on pod because I think each time another bro sees it, I like think of something else I want to say about it. And I just really appreciate, and I would be interested to see how this plays as the book version of it. But I really appreciate the framing device of like the intercutting between he's on the ship in, I guess, present day, and then cutting back to like the lead up to the shuttle and how he was never even supposed to be a part of it initially, and how that certainly informs like his character's He's he wakes up in Ivor's face, just like, God damn it. And things kind of only continue to go, God damn it, from that point.
From
And it
that
was
moment on.
right. And you do obviously you have to suspend disbelief in a film like this, but the Rocky character, if done poorly or not executed well, man, this movie would have fallen flat on its face at the beginning of the second act, but it really just kind of elevates it. Because when he's first introduced, I mean, I hadn't read the book, so I had no idea how big of a part of the story he was going to be, Rocky. I thought he might just be in like a little bit of it and leave, or just be like a BB-8 type side character. But I mean, give Gosling credit. That is like his acting partner for the whole second half of the film, basically.
Yeah, it is. Um, yeah, if you don't nail Rocky, you miss on this entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you go from I don't know, I haven't looked at the box office scores or anything. I assume it's going to be a box office hit. Um, that's the difference in that and being like a sci-fi channel special.
I'm assuming this movie is a little bit too comedic slash goofy to get like any awards consideration, right?
Yeah, I mean maybe some special effects stuff. Um, but I can't see it getting any love for acting or directing or anything. Well, wasn't that any fault of its own. It's just it's a sci-fi movie.
In a weird way, I actually thought the cinematography, the space stuff, I could take or leave. But I thought the stuff on Earth looked really good. Like when they were on the rig, like a lot of the
Yeah,
stuff with the colors, and especially like we skip ahead 15 seconds, minor spoiler for Project Hail Mary, real quick. But that explosion that happens, I thought visually that looked, and the way it was done, like it
yeah,
wasn't like some massive, we're here and it's like an action movie scene. It was like off in the distance and like kind of muted, but just as horrific as like if you were there. I thought that was pretty cool the way they filmed that. Okay, Brian, one thing I watched at Ronnie Cycli's recommendation was the newest, and it's sad because there's another one coming up in a week. We're just a disgusting society, but the newest Netflix true crime doc to drop, and that is A Toxic Love Story.
it's on
Did you?
my list on his recommendation.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay. And I know this is right down
Sell me
your
on it.
you're in Brooke Manor's alley. So I will say, Netflix, I don't know how much of these, and they can't lie to me. There is a good portion of them done by AI. I don't know how much of these are built that way, but there is a formula to them. They all open with the cold opening of the actual recording of the 911 call from whatever the crime was. That's exactly how this one opens. It's an hour and I think like 35 minutes, which normally you'd be like, all right, just break it up into like a three-part series. But this actually, I think, has to be told as one story because there's really three components to it. There are three main characters in it. There's a man named Ian, there's his ex-fiance Michelle, and then his current fiance Angela. And I will only give you the premise of it because there are several twists and turns along the way that I did not see coming, and that's the point of the ride. But Essentially, Ian and his new fiancée Angela are living in a condo that Ian used to co-own with Michelle, his previous fiancée. There was some debate as to who actually should get the condo when they broke up. Ian, of course, got it. He's living there now, and Michelle had not been made whole from her portion of the down payment. While Ian and Angela are living in the condo, they essentially start to feel like they're being stalked and harassed by someone. And Ian uh, assumes that it is Michelle, and then some emails start coming in to him and Angela that lead them to believe that it is Michelle. And so things kind of go from there and really, really escalate. So those are
Okay.
the three main characters we follow, and there are twists and turns. And it's sort of told through two lenses. There are several people from law enforcement who kind of talk about like the investigation there. And then there are a couple different character witnesses for Angela, Ian, and Michelle. People that are actually kind of on all each of the individual sides, which is good. That kind of tell
Okay.
the story of like this love triangle, and you sort of learn to not trust and hate all of them to varying degrees. So pretty pretty interesting. And I don't know. You Brooke Banner especially will probably be able to predict where this is going by like the middle of it. But I don't want to say like completely blindsided, but I thought it was a very interesting finale to it. And unlike some true crime docs, this isn't really a spoiler, but we do get the resolution. Like we know
Okay, good.
what has happened.
There is an end to the story.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that is a toxic love story on
Worth a watch.
Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What else you got?
All right. Next thing I'm going to talk about. I saw the let's go 2025 remake of Anaconda.
Oh yeah, I watched this too. Not
Dude,
recently, but yeah,
yeah, this was just like a lot of fun.
definitely.
It had some jump scares, but it was funny. Like it was just a fun movie. I couldn't help but smile as I was watching it. The third act went off the fucking rails as it should.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say? It was just a fucking blast.
I do, or I don't think I had ever seen the original one. I like heard of it, so I went back and watched that before this, and it's kind of fun with a few of the like cameos that you get in it, but it's really like not necessary viewing. But yeah, the concept of this is just great. You get Rudd and Jack Black as like the director who just like doesn't. He just keeps getting like sucked back into being a director because he's like, "Fuck, I love this so
It's
much."
so much fun.
Yeah, I just thought that was like a really, really funny trope, and him and Rudd together are just absolutely incredible. So that was
Yeah.
really, yeah,
This
just a
is like this. See, I like this Jack Black, not like for a while there where you're getting that like crazy, look, I'm Jack Black. I don't know. This is he's back to just being funny again.
yeah, and I don't know, I kind of have a soft spot for these comedies where it's like they know that they're going to get ridiculed, but they're like, we just have some good ideas for laughs. We're just going to go for it. Steve Zahn, I thought they could have done more with his character in it. Although the joke where he says he's Buffalo sober is pretty fucking
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
And he's like, what does he say? He basically drinks everything still. He's like,
Yeah.
no dark liquors, I think is the only thing he doesn't drink.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah. And Paul Rudd's like, well, we're really proud of you, man. Like, I'm glad that's working out. I actually think I gave this last year a nom for Oscars for best comedy.
I probably would have voted for it if I had seen it back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a
It's
good
it was a good one.
can't nothing to criticize about Anaconda. Like just let it have its fun.
It is what it is. Like it knows exactly what it is.
Um, is this streaming on anything?
It's on Netflix.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was like it was came up and it was like you might like to watch. It's like, you know what, Netflix, you're right. I would like to watch that.
Netflix, you know me so well. Um,
What you got, Jeff?
let me see what I want to talk about here. Um, no, I watched I guess I watched a movie from this year, earlier in the year, called Bodycam. It was a Shudder original, which I
Okay.
typically like. It's a found footage movie. I saw it was an hour 15 minutes. The premise is two policemen. It's basically like their body cam footage when they stumble onto a domestic disturbance of some sort. Um, and things escalate very quickly. And in the found footage format, it is told entirely by cutting between their two body cams, and it essentially is told in real time. And this thing was a complete fucking turd. Um,
Oh,
I'll just say this. It lets you know pretty early on that it's going very, very supernatural, um, which already kind of lost me. And then the whole thing just kind of devolves into this like demonic thing that I guess it's kind of my own fault because I didn't really know that's what it was going to be. And it was an hour, 15 minutes, and honestly felt like it was a little bit too long. So
whew,
yeah,
that's tough.
I thought this might get like a sleeper Oscar nom for best horror movie when I read the premise, but I actually nominated it for worst movie of the year. So
Okay.
went in with a completely different idea of what it was, and unfortunately for it, I saw it, so it got nominated. This might have just gone under the radar, and we never would have known how shitty it was, but I watched it,
It
and
caught
now
your eye. The marketing was too good for it.
exactly now we'll pay the price for its own marketing. Uh, all right, that's probably all I got. Anything else you got?
Uh, yeah, a couple things real quick. One, finally got around to watching Avatar Fire and Ash. This is just a bad fucking movie, man. Like, regardless of your feelings of the Avatar IP or the Avatar franchise, like this is just a bad fucking movie. Plain and simple. It's way too long. You don't really get a resolution at the end. It's convoluted. It's confusing. It literally took me 5 settings to get through.
And don't you feel like the entire like first 40 minutes, it's just basically Way of Water again, but with a fire tribe instead of a water tribe?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like
It
we're not rehashing anything new here. Now, I do kind of like the dynamic of like the fire tribe compared to the water ones and the Navi. But also it's
yeah,
like how many fucking tribes are on this planet and we're just gonna introduce a new one each movie and act like they hadn't been around the entire time? Like come on.
yeah. It's just again, it's just a bad fucking movie. And then I will also talk about real quick a movie that this is a bad movie, but there's a good movie in here somewhere, and that's Kraven the Hunter. Have you watched this?
I have not. What's this on? It's on Netflix also?
I think this was on Netflix also. Yeah. Uh, like the dialogue is bad, the acting is bad, but like there's something about it that I liked. There's something about it.
All right, here's what it might be. Does it think it's good?
I don't think it does, and I think that's the key.
Because sometimes when a movie thinks it's good, you kind of get enjoyment out of like watching it fall on its face. So like, oh man, it's really trying hard. But then you get like a Madam Web where like it kind of knows it's bad, and you're like, yeah, but you can't be in on the joke. That makes you worse.
Yeah, it rides that line really, really nicely. Again, the dialogue is really bad. There's some pretty cool fight scenes and some action scenes that are great. Um, but I enjoyed it.
I mean, I really like Kraven as a comic book character, and I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think. I kind of go back and forth on that, whether I
This
like
won't
him.
help. This won't help whether you like him or not.
That's unfortunate. I liked him in
Yeah.
Kick-Ass and a
Yeah, Kick-Ass is great.
few other things. How long is it? That's another problem, or could be.
It was like right around 2 hours. It didn't overstay its welcome, I wouldn't say. I think I watched it in 2 settings. Yeah.
Very, very doable.
Yeah, super doable.
All right, if this is on Netflix, then I will actually give it a poke.
Yeah. All right.
All right, you got anything else?
One more thing. Masters of the Universe, the new one, I watched on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about it here. I was just going to put it in a squad blog, but I watched the 1987 one.
Okay.
So maybe we just talk about both of those right now then to close out Protein Shake.
Okay, there we go.
All right, you go first.
This, again, just like Kraven the Hunter, this had really bad dialogue, but it was almost like the feel of it. Everybody was there wasn't a whole lot of CGI or anything, and it just felt like I was a kid playing with my action figures again. Like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. No, you're gonna beat me up, and just playing with my action figures as a kid.
That sounds fucking
That's what
awesome.
That's what this felt like, and it was very refreshing.
Um,
Wasn't good by any means. It was just, again, it was just nostalgically fun.
you know who plays Skeletor?
Yeah, Jared Leto. I know.
Which is just like why?
Yeah,
Do you
his face is like the only thing that's CGI'd for the most part. And so he couldn't do some weird tick thing with his nose.
do they have fun with Skeletor? Like, do they make because like he's kind of become like memeified now?
Yeah, there were times where like they tried to make him funny, and it just, yeah, kind of. Again, the dialogue was bad. The story wasn't the best. It was just, it felt like I was playing with like the feel of it, the vibes that it was giving off was like I was playing with my Ninja Turtles and my Power Rangers and uh, all of my action figures as a kid.
But is it like as you're watching it, you're like, well, you know what? I'd just rather actually be doing that than watching this movie version of
Well,
it.
yeah, but that's just a slow Tuesday.
How much of it, because this one starts in the real world, almost looks like the origin of He-Man, right?
Yeah, it's the origin of He-Man.
Okay, so how much of it takes place on Earth before they get to like Castle Grayskull?
Most of it happens at Castle Grayskull.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not in the real world for very long at all.
Interesting.
Or it's their journey to Castle Grayskull. I guess I shouldn't say they're just there the whole fucking time.
Okay. I will give this a poke. I saw it was 2 hours, 20 minutes though, and I was like, you guys need to chill the fuck out, dude.
It was a three setter. I won't lie to you. I won't
Because
lie
this
to
was
you.
one like earlier in the summer, I was gonna go see it in theaters, but where I'm at with trailers and my 15-minute each way, which isn't bad, but commute to the theater, that's 30 minutes of travel, 30 minutes of waiting for trailers, 2.5 hours. I mean, that's a 3.5, that's a whole afternoon now. And I
That's an
mean the
afternoon. Yeah.
second half of the day. So that's like a tough commitment to make to go up there. So yeah, I think the three-sitter might be the move up there. Um, well, I watched the 19,
There's a pretty clean break at each act. So
that makes it a little bit better.
yeah. All right, tell us about the 87.
Okay, so the 87 one almost sounds like the inverse version of yours. Dolph Lund, this is on Tubi, by the way, for
Okay.
free. Dolph Lundgren plays He-Man. And this has to be, aside from the music video she was in, the first thing Courtney Cox was in. I didn't know she was in it when I started it, but she has a huge role in this.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
yeah, so here's how the 1987 version works. Again, it's almost like the reverse of the one you just described. It starts off in Castle Grayskull, and Skeletor, played by the late Frank Langella, although he has so much makeup on, you can't tell it's him, is fighting He-Man, and Skeletor has like this sorceress that he's holding captive, who He-Man is trying to free. In the battle, basically, like he has to flee to save his life. He-Man gets transported back to Earth or to Earth. And so then there's all this goofy, in the second act it gets a little weird, but there's this troll called Gwildor who's with them, of course.
Of course.
And there's all this goofiness that takes place, and Courtney Cox is like this teenager on Earth who works at a fast food restaurant who gets kind of like mixed up in this. And then Skeletor tracks He-Man down to Earth and sort of like invades Earth. And so like the rest of the fight takes place there until they finally end up at the very end at Castle Grayskull. So most of this one takes place on Earth, but it's the reverse because they start at Castle Grayskull and then sort of get like transplanted there. And it's super goofy. They use a ton of special effects that they were not ready to use, and I actually really respect that. And
Swing for the fences, man.
yeah, there's a lot of fighting in it. And the principal from Back to the Future is in it, and he actually has a pretty big role. He plays a cop who's like hunting down He-Man the whole time, trying to arrest him.
Huh.
If you view it as a comedy, it works really well. If you view it as like an action sci-fi movie, not so much.
Hmm. Worth a poke though?
I think so, especially since you saw that. We'll just have to reverse and then check back in next pod after we
Yeah.
watch the other versions of it.
I'll have to check it out.
All right, cool.
That's all I got.
All right, that brings us to the last part of our show.
Yeah, that
That bird said it best. Do you even lift bruh? Question and
bro.
answer segment that we close out every episode with, where we pose a question that we want you to ruminate on and comment us your thoughts either in the comment section of this video below or at any of our socials. Brian, the current question we are asking, and we've been doing this for a couple years now, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. What are the Bros' top 100 movies of all time? An incredibly difficult task to put these together, but we've done it over the past few years, and we continue the countdown. Today, we're getting into serious fucking territory. But before we do that and reveal to our listeners what number in our countdowns we're each at, why don't you tell them what these lists are? Because when you hear top 100 movies, I mean, that can mean a lot of different things depending how you put the list together. I wouldn't really describe these as like 100 best curated pieces of cinema. I would describe them a little differently, wouldn't you?
Yeah, this is my top 100. So there are movies that don't deserve to be on any top 100 list anywhere, but they make it to mine for whatever reason. Maybe just because I fucking had a good time when I watched it, or it was your first DVD. It could be for any reason that it makes it into the top 100. This is my personal top 100, not the best 100 movies out there.
Yeah, it's basically your list. You know, as long as the movie has justification or rationale that you can provide, everyone else can fuck off if they criticize it. All right, Brian, we are, like I said, in some serious shit here. If you click the link at the top of the description of this video, you will see our current lists. And Brian, we are now entering each of our top 15 movies of all time. We've been saying it for a while, but like this is, I mean, we've been alive a long time. We're ancient. This it's seen a lot of fucking movies. This is
A
like
lot of movies.
serious levels in the rankings. If you've made it, if you're a film and you are on any of our lists going forward, you are basically like god tier cinema to us, I would say. All right, we last left off. Your number 16. We'll do mine first. Was Batman Begins, and yours was Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. So every movie you are going to announce going forward, this is huge. If you know Banner, you like more than Episode 4, the original Star Wars that you saw. Wow. What's your number 15 movie of all time? One ahead of that.
Whew, man, I'm getting nervous, man. All right, number 15. This is probably my third favorite MCU movie. I don't know. There might be a couple more that are higher on the list. I have to double check, but that's Captain America: Winter Soldier. Absolutely loved this movie. I think this is the best sequel of any MCU movie. I don't know of a sequel in the MCU that's better than this. I'll
There's,
wait.
there's not one.
Yeah, I don't think there is. Um, I think this is when Captain America starts to get interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then obviously you have everything with Bucky and introducing him. Scarlett Johansson is this is my second favorite rendition of her. Iron Man 2 obviously is number one,
Right. The
naturally.
shield twist to me was fucking incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Best part, we love Agents of Shield. It coincided and happened at the exact same time on the show,
Hmm.
which is a huge feat to do. Um, so that's awesome as well. Just a great movie all the way around.
You could also probably argue outside of maybe the OG Iron Man, possibly I mean, it's definitely one of, if not the most grounded MCU movies.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
I mean, the surveillance technology definitely exists. That's probably like the
Oh,
craziest thing in this, right? Aside from the
yeah.
helicarriers.
Yeah, that and then mentioning Thor,
Right.
which I mean, I mention him all the time too, so it's pretty realistic.
Yeah, you and Hydra have a lot in common.
A lot
Same.
in common.
I've been saying that for years. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first Russo brothers MCU film, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and their focus on like the fight choreography and the practicality of any effect when they could do it was definitely appreciated and noticed.
It's one of my favorite fight scenes.
Cap and Bucky with the
Yeah.
knife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Just super badass. All right, my number, where are we at here? My number 16 movie of all time. Sorry, is this 16? No, number 15. My number 15 movie of all time, one ahead of Batman Begins,
Wow.
is
That's a I'm
Yeah.
nervous.
One of my favorite comedy movies of all time, partly because of the scenario in which I watched it, and that is Tommy Boy.
Love this movie.
I mean, iconic. Okay, so here's how I first saw Tommy Boy. My family was on a road trip. I don't even remember where. We lived in Seattle at the time, and we had stopped at a hotel. And I don't know if you remember, but some hotels would have on the television when you were sitting there, like to get you to pay to rent a movie, they would play they would play the movie, and you would get to watch like 5 minute increments of it, and then it would cut out, and on the screen it would say to purchase this, call the front desk and say this number. And then after about 10 minutes of that, it would go back to the movie and play for about 5 minutes and then cut out again and put up that advertisement. And so essentially they would like give you like little nibbles and bits and pieces of a movie in hopes that you would call the front desk and rent it. Well, Tommy Boy happened to be that movie at the hotel. I had never even heard of it or seen it before. And the 5 minute increments that it kept cutting into, my family was like audibly laughing in our hotel room. So we finally called down and rented it. And the first one was the scene which I quoted at the beginning of the episode when Tommy he's on the sales trip, and in an attempt to sell brake pads, he takes the model cars on the like shop owner's desk and puts together like a little reenactment of what would happen if you don't use Callahan Auto's brake pads. And like lights them on fire. And Richard at the very end asks the person if they will validate their parking after he lights his car on fire.
Uh,
The second the second time that it cut in, it was Tommy at the hotel when he's like trying to get the chick to like think that he's some weightlifter or something. I don't know. It was just a fucking hilarious scene. Tommy Boy to me is iconic. Even though I know every joke that's coming, it's still laugh out loud funny. It's the best Chris Farley performance in anything, including all of his SNL skits, and that is really saying something. For the short time that he was alive, he had some absolute bangers. And no, some of the jokes are not don't hold up well in terms of
didn't
like
age well.
correct, but it's a product of its time. So you have to kind of, I said this when I talked about Blazing Saddles a few weeks ago. Like, you're
Yep.
gonna have to watch comedy movies in a time capsule. Um, and Tommy Boy, the sarcasm of David Spade has never been funnier, except for maybe in like Emperor's New Groove. Uh, it's just an utterly incredible comedy that anytime I'm in a bad mood, I'll throw on, and I will laugh, even knowing exactly what's coming.
It's perfect. It's so quotable.
Oh my God, a billion different quotes. Hey, look, prehistoric forest.
It
All right, Brian, what an episode. We got
was a fun one.
two movie months to battle it out. We got um top 100 in. Good shit. Any closing thoughts or last words for the people at home?
Just make sure you pull over for emergency vehicles.
Great advice.
I mean, that's it. It's hot outside. Pull over.
A lot of brush fires happening. That fire department needs to get there, bud. Okay. It's more important than your Kroger run or the thing you need to go return at Target. All right, I'm gonna give my same advice, although this time with a different mindset in place. I hate to say it, but here where we're at, summer is essentially over here. We have about a week left. So it's back to school time, and that means that the haircut you're getting is a big one. It's the back to school haircut. Okay, so let's just make smart choices in that barbershop chair. All right, no Nike swooshes in the side of our head, especially if you're over the age of 7. And I've been saying this after I made this mistake in my youth. Let's not do any like frosted tips or any like weird colors. You're not in a K-pop group, and if you are in a K-pop group, why are you getting your haircut at Supercuts?
Should be happening.
Should not be happening. So just make smart decisions in the barbershop chair. They're not permanent, but they will leave an impact on people, and they last longer than you prefer if you get a bad cut. All right, for the mad scientist Brian Banner, I'm the mayor Jeff Hornacek. We are the Broforce Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Follow us on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and all our socials at Broforce Squad. Go to Letterboxd, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube and type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, and check out everything we've ever posted and our top 100 list on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, Banner, I need to get this waiter over here because I do want some more Long Island iced teas.
Yeah,
There's not
I'll
much.
take 3.
There's not much sugar in these, right?